Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video, the F1 2022 alternate mod. Yes, we're here at Jeddah. Today we're going to be driving the car on your screens now, my version of the pink Alpine. It's the final time this season that we are going to see this car before we get Alpine move to their blue version of the Alpine for this year. Better of the two versions in my opinion, but yes. Now, before we go into this video, a little disclaimer about the car's performance. As I said in the opening episode at Bahrain, where we drove at Max Verstappen, basically I've fiddled about with the performance and it hasn't quite worked for some of the teams as well. Now the biggest problem is although I can test the performance for me, it's very hard to get a measure of what the AI can do, because the AI themselves don't really try less consistent. We need to be more consistent. Also, I can't improve or deprove the AI based on their performance. I also edited all of this before the race, so I did this based off qualifying, so I should have for the next episode Australia a little bit more of an inkling to what's to set all the cars to. So you might see a few disparities with like the Mercedes, the McLaren, not really realistic as well, so a little bit more work there for me to come. So yes, into qualifying, then a one-shot qualifying here around Jeddah in the light, it looks afternoon actually as well. I think they've changed it now, so it's at the same time as well, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, through into sector 1, we're up in P3. There's a Ferrari in first and second place as well. So we come through into the middle sector. There's a bit of understeer there in the Alpine as we come now through the end of the first sector, excuse me. I have DRS down this little one, very pointless straight, I must add. I don't think any. Why did they add DRS there? It's pretty much pointless to have DRS there. We're still in P6 though, so you know we've had a good opening start to the opening start to the our qualifying lap here as well. It's, as I say, Jeddah's not a track to do. We're up to P5 now as we go through this flowing middle sector into the final sector now as well. It is of course the fastest street circuit on the world, and it's just so flowing, but you know, I'm not entirely sure we might see less overtakes than we did, as well as we've lost time through that DRS zone, and we're down to P11 there, briefly P12, back up to P11 at the corner. We'll get up to the line. Oh, we've run out of ERS. How have we managed to run out of ERS? It's supposed to set us up for a qualifying lap. So yes, Max Verstappen takes pole by very close to Leclerc and Sainz. Perez 4/10 further back. Gasly P5, ahead of Bottas in P6. Again, this is where the unrealistic starts happen. AlphaTauri P7, the Sonoda. Norris 8th, Hamilton 9th, and Ricciardo rounds out the top 10. All of them very close together, try and reduce them. Fernando Alonso starts 11th, Kevin Magnussen is only 12th. Zhou Guanyu 13th, Russell only 14th, but then he did struggle in FP1 earlier today. Esteban Ocon, our teammate, is only 15th. Hulkenberg, the super sub, is 16th. Schumacher struggles 17th. Stroll 18th. The two Williams, they seem to have got the worst of my performance, and they are last. So that is all it for time for the race, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Jeddah Street Circuit for what we hope is going to be a gripping day of racing. It's time to get underway as we join the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today.
So here we are down on the grid in P11. Race strategies at one stop. We're going to go soft to mediums, not medium to softs like I like to do, purely because I want to try and take as many positions as possible. So 5 red lights then to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's an okay start, better than Ricciardo, as Norris there has a dive down the inside of Bottas. We're going to dive down the inside of Bottas. I can't get around the outside there, turn 1 there, going into turn 2, and we have to stay behind Bottas. Can we get Bottas here though? No, he's going side by side with one of the Alpha Towers. I think that's Tsunoda, as Max Verstappen then leads from Charles Leclerc. Perez has jumped ahead of Sainz, so Perez is third, and Sainz is fourth. All of those two teams have the car to go head to head, as Norris has been forced out by Bottas, and we're going to take absolutely full advantage and get ahead of the McLaren here up to P8, although Norris does come back as I take a little bit too much curbing there through that section, but we are up to P8. Yes, we get a replay here. Bottas a little bit cutting the curve there, and then Norris just falls in behind, tries to get that pass, but then we just squeeze him out into the pass of Zhou Guanyu there behind as well. And of course Zhou Guanyu is actually going to overtake Norris, or try to, into turn 1. Have the inside going into turn 2, but Norris will have the better traction. They're still going side by side up to turn 3. I think that's Magnussen trying to get involved, and in the end Zhou Guanyu does get passed, as does Kevin Magnussen. The McLaren really not that great, as Esteban Ocon has been involved in the wars. Our teammate, he's in the pits for a front wing change, so that's unfortunately that's going to drop him right to the back. He will be able to recover some places, but not a lot. So we jump back to RP on lap 4, catching up to Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri, down on the inside at the final corner, and up to P7.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look easy.
As well as a nice move here, we get this very nice helicopter camera down the inside of the Japanese driver in the AlphaTauri, who AlphaTauri have done very well in this. Then there or thereabouts with their car in real life. Probably need to give them a little nerf on the performances. Magnussen is now fighting again with Zhou Guanyu. This is for P10, I think it is, as well. Schumacher trying to get involved as well, but unable to get in front, as Leclerc has got past Verstappen with DRS. I'd missed that replay there, but I think it's with DRS as well. So Ferrari have the lead at Jeddah, ahead of Max Verstappen, as we're now going for a move around the outside this time on Valtteri Bottas. Well, the corner of course tightens up here, so we've got to make sure we don't do a Verstappen and put it in the wall, but we get the better traction, have the DRS, we use all of the DRS, and finally we're up at the position there. But that's the problem with that corner, it tightens up on the exit there, so you can easily, if you're trying to do that overtake on the outside, end up in the wall. It's a lovely little overtake on Bottas, but we're going to be in then on the lap 6. Again, the pit lane entry at Jeddah, I'll just cut it because there's no point. You can never make that thing, the little white lines. 3 seconds stop, not great to be honest, but if I remember rightly, certain teams on the F1 game aren't great at pit stops, like they are in real life, so that's been a characteristic for a few years, and the likes of Alpine aren't great. They were never great when I was driving the driver crew like last year. So we're now going to go past Nicholas Latifi up to P17 with DRS. That's an easy overtake on the Canadian who's struggling in the Williams car as well. Next up is one of the Aston Martins. He's going to come in. There's a whole load of cars now looking to come into the pits. Is that Gasly in? Yes, it is. So that we've managed to undercut Gasly, and there we're up to, well, we'll be P5. So that's a great job with the undercut strategy to make that work. And after the pit stops, then Charles Leclerc still leads from Max Verstappen, but they're oh so close, so evenly matched, I must say. Perez is still ahead of Sainz in P3. and P4 respectively as well. As Gasly though, he's not going to give up on a P5 of course, and we go side by side through turn 1. We've gone wide there on lap 10. Was there a little bit of contact there with Gasly? I don't think so. As it's all changed the battle for P10 because Mick Schumacher has got ahead of Magnussen. Norris is nowhere to be seen. I think he's up the road. And it's the two Mercedes. I think Hamilton's had a shocker as well. Remember, he qualified up in P9 as Gasly now goes past with DRS. No damage for him in that previous attempt by the looks of it. He tried to go round the outside. Again, the corner tightens up, but we will have ERS and DRS to play with as we cross the line. Gasly doesn't want to go, tries to go ultra defensive. We're going to go up the inside of Gasly into turn 1. Oh, there's contact with Gasly this time. And surely that's Gasly going to have to come into the pits for a new front wing with the simulation damage as well. Here's a replay. Gasly tried to take a wide line, but then he just cut in too much as well. He just forgot that I was there on that inside as well. As this is Leclerc and Verstappen banging tyres there at the final corner. Verstappen having a waggy tail there, and now Leclerc is able to stay ahead for now of his rival in the Red Bull. But on to the final lap then. This is going to be close. Verstappen has DRS out of the final corner, up to the line. Who's won the Grand Prix? Is it Verstappen? I think it's Verstappen. It is Verstappen. Oh, so close between Verstappen. A photo finish between Verstappen and Leclerc there. Wow, that's definitely an ending. I would definitely take that ending. I can't remember the last time we had a photo finish, if we've ever had one in Formula 1. So yes, for us, Bottas and Tsunoda weren't able to close in the end. So we're going to come home for a very good P5 as well, as somebody's retired as we cross the line. I don't know. I think that's Latifi. We'll look at him in a moment. But Verstappen then wins the Grand Prix by 0.016 seconds. That's very close as well. Perez and Sainz and Perez as well doing pretty much the same thing behind as well. So myself as Alonso, Bottas, Tsunoda, Norris getting points, Zhou and Magnussen round out the top 10. Haas getting the first points in this series. Schumacher misses out along with Hülkenberg. The two Mercedes 13th and 14th. Not really sure what happened to Hamilton to put him behind his teammate, but then in FP1 Mercedes were not that great, to be honest. Ricciardo P15, that's about right for him. Stroll 16th. Ocon, unfortunate, P17. He would have probably been ahead of that lot and scoring points had he not had that front wing change. Gasly as well with a second stop, unfortunately. The two Williams. In actual fact, Latifi, I think he tried to fly round. He tried to take off, I think, and set that 107 and the fastest lap of the race. I don't really know what happened to him, but he retired anyway. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe channel if you see plenty more F1 2022 alternate mod videos. Next one will be in Australia in a couple of weeks' time. So until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.